I will try to speak slowly, but if you want to ask a question, just jump in at any time. So we're going to start with Facebook and Instagram mostly because I think those are the two that a lot of the club members use. So that's what I'll focus on. I'll touch on some new um, apps that are coming out. And I know that you guys will probably be like, oh my God, something new, but they're kind of cool. And so have no idea where it'll go, but I'm sure they'll grow and gain popularity. So just a quick Facebook stats. 2.6 billion people use it every month, and we have 1.73 billion that use it daily. So Facebook is one of the major apps we have out there. People spend an average of 58.5 minutes on Facebook each day. So this is one of the main reasons why this is the go-to app for marketing and recruiting members, whether it's business, education, or organizations. Your users are on Facebook. And I think that might be a little low. I know some people that are on there longer than that, but 58 minutes, almost an hour, that's a lot. 65% of users are under the age of 35. So again, when you're thinking about recruiting new members to your organization, this again is the place to go to if you're looking for a certain demographic, whether it's younger, to engage those members into the organization. Facebook is still extremely active with those members. 96% of active Facebook users access the platform through their mobile device. So I always put this out here because you want to make sure that you have nice pictures and everything. You want to double check, because I know some people use Facebook to upload things from their desktop, but you always want to double check to make sure that it looks good on your mobile app, since really that's really what people use is their phones when they're going through Facebook. And then 7 out of 10 adults in the US claim that they use Facebook. So, you might hear some people that say, well, I'm not really on Facebook. Well, the stats state otherwise. If you're trying to recruit a new demographic and new members to your organization, Facebook is where your members are going to be. And it is the leading social platform. And 60.6% of internet users do use this for social reasons. So when we're thinking about Facebook, this is the place where you want to market your club. So you want to build trust around your organization's page. And a good method is to share a little bit about your organization's culture, like photos, videos of the club president, quotes, wise words. These are the things you want to use Facebook for. This is how we're going to learn what your club is all about. So you have to really use this to talk about your club's culture, the history, things like that. Call to action. When you're thinking about posting something, you should have a call to action with every post, or you're basically you're going to lose your eyeballs. So are you wanting people who look at your post, look at your picture, look at your video to learn more? Do you want to share this with friends who are interested? Do you want them to do that? Or is there something else you want them to do when they look at your picture? You want to avoid being passive, because think about it. You're now not only competing with other nonprofit organizations, you're competing with businesses. You're competing with politics. You're competing with a lot of things. So when they see your picture, are you asking them to learn more about the organization? Are you asking them, to share it with a friend? Or you could even pose a question, what do you think about this? Or, name some of your favorite places to eat if you're, or your favorite organizations to volunteer if you're showing a volunteer activity. You want to get the users engaged. And the more engagement you have on the post, more likely that your organization members as well as potential members will be able to see the post, because it all deals with algorithms. Post engaging content. A lot of people ask, well, how many times should I post? The rule of thumb is at least 3 times a week. And there's so much going on in your club. Hopefully you have enough content to post at least 3 times a week. Once a day is optimal. And I know that might be hard, for some people, but the cool thing is Facebook has publishing tools, which means if you have tons of content, you can schedule all of that and basically walk away from Facebook and not be stressed about it. So let's go into that. Scheduling posts, that's going to be your best friend. So if you have everybody should have a Facebook page. Once you go into scheduling posts, you can type it in once you're in Facebook schedule posts, and it'll come up. And you can basically schedule out all of your posts. So say you had a community event and you took several pictures of that community event. Instead of posting all 10 pictures with that one post, up to one post, why not spread it out? That's either 10 days of content you can have, or if you spread that out and you're doing 3 posts a week, now you have 2, maybe 3 weeks worth of content. You can have a different caption for every picture that you post. So you just got to be smart about it and, think of different ways you can stretch out that one event if you don't have that many events to post, to do it 3 times a week. Again, this is where you'll go into schedule post. You can share it now. You can schedule it to a different date. You can even save the draft if you have so much going on and you're like, you know what, I can't handle this right now. Let me just save this and come back and figure out, how I want to do this. Again, if you're pulling different quotes from members, past members, or just quotes that you think really resonate with your organization, schedule that in too. Use that on one of those dates you don't have any content. Schedule something that's engaging that you think will get, shares, likes, comments, things like that. Again, stop me when if you need to. And then again, they're going to give you a publishing schedule. You get to select the schedule. You can even select the time that you want the post to, go out. So if you know that most of your members are on Facebook during the day, maybe that's when you want to post it because that's when you get the most eyeballs. Or if you think more people are engaging with your post in the evenings, once they get off work or once it's after dinner, then schedule your post to go out at 7 p.m. Whenever you think your members are most engaged, that's when you want to go out, when you think, the most eyeballs are going to be on that post. And so some of the other features that you want to be aware of with Facebook is one of the things that they're working on now, which they're really trying to compete against Shopify. And I don't know if you have heard of Shopify, but it's basically a website that you can create if you sell products, things like that. So now Facebook is trying to get into that e-commerce space. And the only reason why I say to think about it is if you sell products. So say, you sell mugs or you sell t-shirts or things like that. This might be something you want to look into because now Facebook is allowing you to create your own store. And you can, and that also works with Instagram as well, which is pretty cool. And so this is a way that you could fundraise. If you know that there are shirts that you like to sell, t-shirts, whatever with your club's logo on it. Again, just another way to fundraise. Pretty cool. And Facebook now is working with PayPal. So if you don't want to open up a separate website or if you don't want to sell it on your website because you're kind of, freaked out about, oh my God, how am I going to, add all of these things? Facebook is actually going to take care of it for you. You just add all of the product images and people can buy directly from Facebook without even having to leave the platform. So this is their way of slowly taking over the world. That's the way I look at it. But it's also a great feature. And so organizations are starting to look at that when they're thinking of different ways to fundraise. Okay, so now we're going to, yes.
What is that called? How would you search the feature for the store?
You can just type in Facebook Shops and it's going to come up. And it'll give you direct link, and then you just set up your shop. So any organization that's a 501c3, you have all of the documentation that you need, and you can go ahead and start selling items.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're going to get into Instagram. These are some of the Instagram stats. They have 1 billion people that use it every month. 500 million people use Instagram stories every day. 63% of Instagram users log in at least once per day. I can tell you I do that more than once per day. I'm guilty of that. You have more female users than male, but not, I mean, it's very close, 52% versus 48%. So you have both genders on. Instagram users will spend an average of 28 minutes per day on the platform. 200 million Instagram users visit at least one business profile daily. So I added that because if they're visiting businesses, they're going to visit different organizations. So, Instagram started off where it was really just family and friends. You were looking at the different vacations they were taking, you were watching their children grow up, things like that. But once brands started entering the market, I won't say they took over, but they were very smart with how they integrated their content into Instagram. So if it's a business that is just trying to sell, Instagram will really kind of kick them off. So businesses have had to be smart and create engaging content that you will just look at and you'll think, oh, that's it'll blend in better, if that's the word I'm trying to use. The content that they create now, it actually blends in with all of the content that you're seeing from your friends and family. So with Instagram, when you're trying to market, when you're trying to recruit, you're really going to have to focus on your visuals. It's going to have to be visually appealing or it will turn people off.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I don't even know what Instagram is. I've never Instagrammed. I don't know what it does.
Oh,
You really got to go back to the beginning for some of us.
okay. Well, Instagram really is just like Facebook. The difference is Instagram really is for visuals. So say, you love decorating a home, interior design, beautiful photos of the family, these, different vacations that you go on. It really is for the people who love visual pictures. Facebook, I would say, is more if you want to be text heavy and kind of write like a mini blog post, that's more Facebook. But if you're thinking about Instagram, people scroll extremely fast. So they're really just looking at pictures and they'll tap it twice. And basically, that, it's just a like we love your picture. They might leave a comment, but it really is all about the visual. So Facebook actually owns Instagram now. So it's all the same. If you have a Facebook account, you can automatically open up an Instagram account and you can do that through Facebook since they own it now. So I would say use Facebook mainly to showcase, again, the work that you're doing in the community. That's really what you should use Facebook for. And it should be action photos versus just posed photos. You need to show action in the community when you're using Instagram. But you remember, it's all about the visual. And then one of the things I want to talk about is the stories. A lot of businesses are using stories and a lot of users actually like the story feature. So when you're thinking about posting, just regular photos, think about your stories. And I'll get more into that. And so again, it's the same thing. You market your club the same way that you would do on Facebook, except with Instagram, you have stories and you have Instagram TV. And then you also have shopping. You can do shopping. It's the same thing with Facebook. If you open up a shopping account on Facebook, you can automatically open up one on Instagram and it's going to just port everything over. But the things that are really just for Instagram is your stories and your IGTV. And we're going to get ready to talk about that. So for your stories on Instagram, basically, you're just going to upload content that you created within the last 24 hours. And it comes directly from your smartphone camera roll. So if you have a social media manager or you have someone who has access to your Instagram account, say, for instance, you are doing an outdoor activity, you're doing a community service event. You need to have someone take those pictures, or they can take a live video and they can just upload it. So really the stories is in the moment. This is a live behind the scenes of what we're doing. And it only lasts for 24 hours and it disappears. So the reason a lot of people are more engaged in stories now than say the visual feed is because they know that if I don't go to stories and see what my friend is doing in her life, I'm not going to know about it because it's going to disappear in 24 hours. So you have a lot of people now that go straight to stories when they open up Instagram. And I do that too. When I open up my Instagram account, I just go straight to stories because it's only going to be there for 24 hours. So if I want to know what's going on with my friends and family, I got 24 hours to find out about it before it disappears. And it's usually going to be, live content. So that's something easy you can do whenever you have an event. Just shoot a live video, have people waving hi, say where you are, what you're doing, and just quickly upload it. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to do the filters. This really is raw behind the scenes. And the users like that. They really want to see that. And remember, it only lasts 24 hours and it's gone. The other thing you probably want to look into is IGTV. So IGTV is when you want to watch a longer version of the video. This is where I would use it if you want your president of the club to talk, to talk to the members or potential members. Maybe you want to do an interview with a community partner that you're really involved with and, kind of get the reason why your club decided to partner with this organization. What's the history behind this organization? So think of this as like a little mini documentary. Again, this doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to have the filters. This really is just, usually a minute and a half or more. You might want to do 5 minutes. You might want to do 10. I would probably stay around the 5-minute range before people kind of drop off. If you're doing anything more than 5 minutes, that's where you want to use YouTube. But for IGTV, this is quick 5 minutes. And so it's just a cheap and easy way to create something really quickly, like a little mini documentary. Why are we here today? Why is Dunwoody Club important? What's the history of Dunwoody Club? How many organizations is AWC involved with? Can you name them off? Can you give us a behind the scenes? Why did you choose that community partner to work with? What are your members doing? How many members do you have? Who are your members? Can you do a quick interview with your member? Why did I join AWC? Why did I join Dunwoody Club? How many years have I been involved? Things like that. So this is really, you can really dive a little bit deeper. And you have your own Instagram TV channel. And so a lot of people use that. And once you create an Instagram TV video, they'll post it automatically to your feed. And so once people start watching it and it's longer than a minute, it'll automatically port them over to IGTV so they can see the full feature of the video. Any questions about that?
I have a question. Is that the same thing as a reel?
The reel is different. So what the reel is, the Instagram reel is trying to compete with TikTok. That's why it was created. So like I said, you remember Facebook wants to kind of take over the world, right? So they created a reel. And what the reel is kind of just fun. You can do a video and you can add music to it. And so that's the whole basis of TikTok. TikTok really is used to, I would say, I have a TikTok account and for me, I use it just to laugh because you have a lot of comedians on there, a lot of regular amateur people that just do funny things. They poke fun at their spouses, at their kids. It's just really, it's where you go to just kind of just laugh and forget about the world. That's the way I look at it. And so with Instagram Reels, they're kind of doing the same thing. You can upload a quick video and add music to it. You can do something fun, something silly. So that's kind of how you use Reel. Some people are using it, not that many, but the Reel is really trying to pull people away from TikTok. Will they be successful? I don't know. because TikTok has their own user base, and TikTok is usually really what I would say Generation X, Generation Z, and Generation Alpha. Those are the people that are using it. And when I say Generation Alpha, we're talking about your 9, 10, 11, 12, your tweens. They're really the driving force behind TikTok. And so I wanted to introduce some of the new things that are coming up for 2020. So there's this new app called Clubhouse. Keep your eye out for this, because what Clubhouse is, it's a new app where they just, it's live conversations. There's no visual, there's no picture, it is just a conversation. And so it's invite only. And I think this is why it's so hot right now, because only people can get an invite. And so you have the celebrities like your Oprah, your Reese Witherspoon, like those people that they're testing it out now, and they're going to slowly open it up to more people. But how do I explain it? This is like, basically it's a telephone. They're bringing the telephone back, but through an app. It's really crazy. So imagine, I don't know if you remember the party lines back in the day where you could call and three-way was the new thing. And then they had a party line. So you could get like 7 or 10 of your girlfriends and you're all talking on the phone and it's so exciting. Basically, that's what this is. They're reintroducing the party line. And so you can enter into a conversation. You can see who's on the party line and it'll show their little profile. And if you want to jump in, you can join a live conversation. And that's it. There's no recording the conversation. Once you hang up, that's it. And so it's crazy because it's not new to us, but it's new to this new generation, right? So just basically a party line app. And there's a lot of buzz about it and people are excited about it. And then there's another app called House Party. It's basically the same thing, but this is with visuals. And so, say you have family members or girlfriends you want to get together, since we can't do the in-person lunch like we used to anymore, this is another way to do it. It's just House Party. You download the app and then you get your girlfriends on and you all can chat via phone and you can see each other. But basically, you can do the same thing with Zoom. But I think the House Party is a little bit more phone friendly. With Zoom, people are still really just using that on their desktop or iPad, but House Party is really just for your phone. And I think a lot of people like that a lot better because you don't have to do the whole logging in and things like that. So those are just 2 apps that were just created to keep your eye out for. If you like to invest in the stock market, you might want to look up House Party and you might want to look up Clubhouse and get some stock into it, because I think people who didn't invest in Zoom are kicking themselves right now. But that's all I have for now. It was a quick overview. I know there's going to be questions. So if you want to take a deeper dive, I can always create something more, but I'll be happy to answer your questions now on how you can really utilize Facebook and Instagram for marketing and recruiting.
Do you guys think that it would be a good idea to have specific hashtags for like Northwest District, your specific club, things like that, once they take off the hashtag little, I guess, penalty box that we're all in at the moment?
I think right now the limit is 30 hashtags, but honestly, you don't want to use more than 5. I mean, because after a while, it just looks like spamming. I would use a specific hashtag just for your club, because what will happen is if people click on that, they'll be able to then just pull everything that you've ever added. So it's a good way to kind of keep a log of all of your activity in one place. So definitely use a hashtag for your club. And
What is the hashtag? What is
a
the
hashtag?
What does it do?
Okay, so a hashtag, you can use it. Mostly people just use it for Instagram. I have seen people use it on Facebook. You can use it on Facebook too, but it's more popular on Instagram. Hashtag is a way to catalog your visuals and your content. So you would use the hashtag or the pound symbol, and then add a couple of characters. So say if you're Dunwoody Women's Club, you could use pound or hashtag DWC. If you want to catalog it for the year, you could use hashtag DWC 2020. So everything that you did in 2020 is going to show up. I mean, you can really drill down if you have a special event and it's a soiree or a party, you can do hashtag DWC soiree 2020.
So then how would a hashtag then? I've done that. I've cataloged my post with the hashtag. And then what? What does somebody type hashtag where to look at all my contact? I don't know how hashtag works.
I'm a big hashtag user. That's how I sort through and find things on Instagram, because I love Instagram, not so much Facebook, because I just get tired of the noise. So that's why I'm on Instagram. And I use hashtags a lot. Like my favorite hashtag I use on my Instagram is called Thrifty Kitchen. And anytime I'm making special meals that are using leftovers or stuff like that, I hit that hashtag. So I can look up my own hashtags and see every post I ever did or that anybody else ever did that used that hashtag. And it kind of sorts content. It's like a file folder.
But mostly it's an Instagram thing.
Yeah, I would say it's easier. You can use, like I said, you can use it on both. But I see more people using it on Instagram because remember, Instagram is visual. And just a little cheat sheet, if you do have an event where you have guests that are invited, always add a hashtag to that event. Always, always, always. Reason is, say AWC, they have a tea. You can do AWC Tea 2020 and give all of the people that attend the tea that same hashtag. When the tea is over, your social media person can sit down, type in the hashtag, and they will be able to see everybody who used that hashtag. That's another way to create content. So now you can pull different users' photos and then use that to repurpose it. You can regram it. You can save those photos and upload them later to Facebook, spread them out so you can continue. You can talk about this tea for the next 2 months if you want to, if you have the content. You're just
Ursula, it also, just hearing you talk about that, it also gives you a sense of what people were interested in. If you see a lot of people posted that hashtag, that indicates, oh, wow, this was very successful.
It's all about creating buzz. So the way that this world works now, if something seems hot, we want to know about it. We're going to click on well, why is everybody going to this AWC tea? What's so interesting about this tea? Because they're going to see everyone using these hashtags. That's another marketing and recruitment.
Isn't the latest marketing for GFWC hashtag I am GFWC? And so I know we use it a lot, even just on our emails, but it's created a very interesting buzz in our club, and on Facebook, we do it on Facebook. We don't have an Instagram account, but it is an interesting feature.
I have a question. Are they using the hashtag on Instagram more because your items only stay up 24 hours and that's a way that you can go back to your things?
Well, the stories, remember, it's just the stories that stay up for 24 hours. Your hashtags stay there forever. So that's
but I'm saying, isn't it because of the stories only staying up for 24 hours that if you use a hashtag with a story, then you can go back and see that story again? Oh, you can't?
The stories.
Not for the stories. Okay.
Not for the stories, yeah. But anything that you post on your general feed, that will stay forever by that hashtag. So that's as long as you don't delete the photo. If you delete the photo, then of course the photo and the hashtags and everything content that goes away. But if you use that hashtag and say it's a photo that I used maybe 3 years ago, but it had a specific hashtag, I could go back if Dunwoody Women's Club had a soiree in, say, 2018, and I just want to go back because I'm bored, or I don't have any, and I click on DWC, soiree 2018. I'm now going to pull up everything that happened in 2018, everybody that tagged the post, whether they were a member or not, from 2018. So it's a great way to catalog. And also you can also use that as a cheat sheet when you're thinking of trying to schedule your posts. You have Throwback Thursdays, you have Flashback Fridays. If there's a hashtag that you used maybe 2 years ago, you can type that up, pull that content from 2 years ago and reuse it again for Flashback Friday or Throwback Thursday, whatever you want to do. There's so many different ways that you can use content over and over for different purposes.
And for reporting purposes, Ursula, hearing you talk about doing the hashtag search, you could, if you could identify those, if your club had been using it on a regular basis, you could pull that up, and you may not have an exact count, but you could get some sense of a particular activity and put that in your report.
So if we had a Marietta Women's Club event and we put the hashtag IMGFWC on it, then anybody who searched on that would see the Marietta Women's Club in there too. So that it expands your marketing beyond just your own club, I guess.
And Joyce, if you did a hashtag Marietta Women's Club or a hashtag Marietta's Gala, anybody that attended that took a picture and I used that hashtag, you would then see my picture. Like, a lot of weddings are using that now. They have their own hashtag, and all of their guests, that if they're going to attend the wedding, to hashtag it. The bride and groom have everybody's photos that were posted. Back in the day, we left those disposable cameras, right? We asked everybody to take a picture with the disposable cameras and we would get them developed. You don't have to do that now. Just create a hashtag, and anybody that takes a picture at your event, if they hashtag Marietta Women's Club, you will have access to that picture.
And just another little cheat sheet, and I have so many, so I don't want to overwhelm everyone, but there's an app out there called Chatbooks. I don't know if you've heard of that. And so the cool thing about Chatbooks is they can automatically download all of your pictures from Facebook or Instagram. And now you've created an album. That's just an easy way. So you don't have to go and pull pictures here and there. If you use primarily Instagram, and I would say the younger generation, when they post pictures, it's all going to Instagram. It's all going to a social platform. So now if I've taken, I don't know how many pictures of my 1-year-old in the first step. You know how new mothers, they're always posting those pictures. Now I can go to Chatbooks and I can create a beautiful album of his first years, and then go back the next year, create a beautiful album of his second years. And I don't have to do any of the work. They're going to pull all those photos in. So again, when you're thinking about hashtags, if you want to create a beautiful album that you can mail out to members or a little keepsake, you can plug in that hashtag that you use, and it's going to pull everybody's photos that used it. And now you have this beautiful scrapbook.
But how do you do that, Ursula? Do you download Chatbooks? You have to download the app.
You got to download it. It's another app.
And so what do you put in there? You're saying that it collects, how does it collect yours?
You have to give them permission to pull in, you have to basically give them permission to your either Facebook or your Instagram account.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll start pulling in things.
And it will classify all of your hashtags. Okay.
Yep. It'll do that, and it'll pull in the pictures. And so you can, you still can go in and edit it. You can add captions, you can, add content and things like that. So it's just, again, an easier way. They're just trying to find it.
That's like a digital Shutterfly. In a sense.
Except you can print it.
Yeah.
You can print it out.
Wow.
Yes.
I have a question. We have a communications person that takes care of our Facebook and Instagram accounts, and I'm very cautious to ever post anything because I don't want to step over. And I found that when stories first came out, things were happening on stories and you never saw them. I like stories for fun,
Mhm.
not for our club where you can go back and look for events and stuff. How are the other clubs doing? Do you have one specific person that takes care of your Facebook, or anybody can go in and post on Facebook or Instagram? How are y'all doing that? I like to screen pictures and stuff. I particularly don't want us to look bad as a club with some sketchy pictures or information. So it's good to go through one person. To me, how do y'all do?
You're asking the different
Dunwoody
clubs.
or
Okay.
whoever else.
Well, for Dunwoody, I created, we had a real problem with our Facebook accounts. We had so many and they were just developed by 1 or 2 members, and it was all over the map. About a year ago, I created a GFWC Dunwoody Women's Club, and it was under my login. And Ashley, and I think Ursula helped too, told me how I can delegate permissions. And so they're not having to use my login and password. So to answer your question, I can post to our official Facebook page or 2 other members. One is the primary administrator, and then we have a backup. And so those 2 people are the primary for posting.
Okay.
Official things, but now that they have the permission, but members can, post things on the account.
At the Lafayette Club,
Chair.
we have Cecilia Westbrook is the one that is in charge of our social media aspect. And we have a club Facebook, and then we have a private Facebook group that the club members can speak and discuss in. So whenever anything is going to be posted on social media, you can post it, and then it will be approved through the administrator, to where if one of the admins on Facebook, for whatever reason, feels that maybe that post is inappropriate or untimely, or perhaps just a repeat of existing content, that can be tactfully kind of set to the side. And it's a good screening tool to just have any post that goes up to go through an administrator, and the club already has the pre-agreed upon criteria on what they deem public worthiness and what maybe they don't deem public worthiness. It helps that we have Rachel with her background in communication and broadcasting.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And that is why the Northwest District has 2 Facebook pages, one for a group for all of us to share and everyone to post whatever they want to post, because that stays privately within our group. And then we've given a lot of access to a lot of members to post. And then we have a public Facebook group of which only Ashley posts. So she posts things that she feels the public will want to see. The public doesn't want to see us standing there and posing. They want to see us working. I will say the Instagram was opened in late May, June, and we have 115 followers on Instagram. So we only post on Instagram right now is inspirational messages and some fun things that people will enjoy seeing. Everybody likes a little inspiration every day. So once we gain that following, then we can be more targeted in marketing. But right now we're in that gaining the followers stage. Same with our public Facebook. We're just trying to gain the followers, and preferably the outside followers, inside followers, GFWC, and outside followers, which is why we tried to do the bra-ha-ha on the public, thinking that would be something catchy. People would share that public page so we can get more followers on our public platform. Once we have that, then we can adequately promote our club's events. You don't want to do it. We don't want to do it all the time because you want to keep them engaged in what we're doing. I wanted to make a point with the videos. When you're doing or setting up or maybe stuffing stockings or hygiene kits or whatever, go ahead and put set up a camera and put it on, what is it, Fast Reel or whatever, or maybe even just record it, right? For the whole hour that you all are doing it, and then speed that up and condense that, fast forward, right, Ursula? And then you post that from beginning to end. This is what we've done. And so viewer within 3 minutes have seen you set up your stations, and you all stuffed 100 stockings, you know, and you can have background music set to that, or, you know, something like that, you know. These, you know, busy bees or busy elves working to stuff stockings for Ronald McDonald House. So there's lots of things that you can do in video mode to condense that, so the viewer can see that within 2 minutes.
And I will say I feel like this is a perfect time to really, really find ways to showcase the work that you're doing, because of the situation that we're in with the pandemic. I feel like a lot of people are looking for purpose. They have nothing but time to really reflect on what's important. And if you're an organization that's going out there, giving back and giving people a sense of purpose, you need to showcase that. You need to let people know you exist, why you exist, and why your work is very important, right, to this community. And I think that alone will help you recruit new members, because people really are looking for something to do. They're looking for something meaningful to do, you know? So I just think we're at a perfect moment in time now to really showcase that we have meaningful work that we're doing and we're changing lives.
Yeah. So Ashley, over the past couple of months, we have been putting together the charity. I mentioned this earlier in the summer. We will put, for instance, let's say AWC sponsors and participates with Draw Change. So we will say in the Instagram post and in public Facebook, proudly sponsored by the Atlanta Women's Club, or Atlanta Women's proudly supports Draw Change, and then put the information about Draw Change. You know, and start educating the public, not only of these charities that we support, but in educating the public of us supporting those charities, right? So that's, you know, all of this has been building up, trying to gather as many followers as we can, so we can promote our affiliate on a local club partner charities. That helps them, and when they see it, like the Draw Change, they will share it with their demographic, right? Which is sharing you. So, you know, it's all a baby step process, I guess you could say. You know, I know that when we have these workshops, Ursula gives us a lot of information, and a lot of information is brand new. Never heard of House Party, never heard of Clubhouse. This is just a general overview to just open that window for us to learn more. So I appreciate you always sticking in some new content that I've never heard before. I mean, it's great. So I have a question about the Facebook shop, because we have a lot of clubs that sell things, and whether it's an item or maybe selling tickets. How does that work? Is there a fee? And you said that if you post something on the Facebook shop, it will translate or integrate with Instagram. Do you have to, you don't have to post it twice? Do you have to pay 2 fees? Is there a post fee like Etsy?
If you use Facebook, there is a fee. It's similar to PayPal, because you have to, you know, funnel your money through something. Right. So that's why Facebook wants to take that over, because they're trying to pull money from PayPal and other websites. But again, you would just type in Facebook shops, and it's going to give you an overview of what's required, what documents they need, and how to get started. So it's good, because there are a lot of people that have, and it is like Etsy. So, you know, if you don't want to if you don't have a website, or you don't feel comfortable building out an entire shop on your website, because that requires plugins and different things, you can just go straight to Facebook. And so people will be able to purchase straight from Facebook, and they don't even have to leave the app. They can input their credit card and all of that stuff. It's kind of like buying something on your phone through Amazon. Everything's, you know, done on Amazon. Facebook is the same way. Facebook wants to keep people engaged, and they want them to stay on their site. So that's why they're creating these new things.
Do you have to have a 501c3 designation or some type of business license in order to open up a shop?
Yeah, they want to see if you have your 501(c)(3) or if you have a business license, things like that. They are going to ask for that to just check to make sure you're a legit business and you're just not someone, trying to steal someone's information, things like that. So, and everybody should have that, information already with them.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I will download some of that stuff or look into it because that seems interesting. I didn't know that you could do that. The call to action button, do you have time to further explain that whole call to action?
I do. Give me 1 minute.
Okay. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
We need Ursula to come to our club to do an audit. a Facebook audit to say, okay, you need some help, ladies, because we know enough to be dangerous. In so many, there's such a wide range of knowledge, and
Right.
we're just barely scratching the surface.
Well, that is an idea if Ursula is up to that.
Just to say with maybe 2 or 3 of us and say, okay, I've looked at what you're posting, let's start at the beginning. This is what you need to do. And maybe like 3 or 5 things that will get you to another level. Let's get you to the basics. Make sure everybody knows the basics. Then maybe a month or 2 later, have another review and we'll get into that. What she's saying is awesome, but we're not even there yet.
We did not know that until about a month ago that our Facebook page is private. So all the great things we're posting on it that we do and the photos that we're putting in it, nobody's seeing it but us.
Right,
The public isn't even seeing it. So we're getting ready to create a whole nother Facebook page. I think once it's private, you can't go back to make it public. And we're in the same place, Maria. We
Yeah,
I
really think that, the train is, so left the station and we're over here taking up, we're behind. We forgot the train. We missed the train.
Yeah. That's where we are too.
The train needs to come back and pick us up.
So Ursula, would you be up, maybe work with Ashley to do, maybe starting in January, every month, do a social media audit of one club? Like in January, do a social media audit of AWC. I don't think they need it because they've got Britain, but you would look at their platforms, see what they're kind of, and then you would kind of give them 5 strategic steps to do for that year.
I'm telling you, that would be,
you know what
awesome.
I'm saying? And then
Would that be for all the clubs or just for that particular club?
1 month, 1 club. I don't want to
Okay,
overwhelm you, between you, and then you and Ashley can kind of switch off, and Ashley can.
that's open to everyone to attend?
Well, for that month, it would be just for that club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess every club could decide whether or not they want,
Right.
We want help.
Right.
Yeah, really, I'm telling you, what you have said is awesome. We're just so elementary. We just need basic help.
Okay, that's not a problem. I will say one of the things that you can do is when you, I would say any and everybody, when you go to an event or you have a, community partner you're working with, everybody who has a phone, you should take pictures. It should just be automatic that all club members know when you go somewhere, take pictures. Because, when you have that social media person that says, well, are there any pictures from this event? You want to be able to pull from everybody. They can just text those pictures and now we have something you can upload. But it's kind of hard, when everyone attended an event and no one took pictures. So it's like, okay, well, we can't do anything. We can't stage that event again. So just, you know, kind of putting in members' mind that whenever you attend something, even if it's just a regular meeting, you know, in person, or even if it's on Zoom, did somebody take a screenshot of the Zoom? I mean, something that you can use. You just want to have a database of pictures that you can kind of pull from whenever you.
But one of the things that we have been encouraging members to do, I mean, before the pandemic, that we realized by putting pictures on our website, the webmaster told us, don't have just plain posed pictures. Have a picture of you doing something. And that's a bit of a challenge. I mean, how do you do that at your event? I guess you could have like a poster of the organization, or I don't know, do you have any suggestions that would make it more engaging and dynamic?
I kind of take a photojournalism view of, you know, when I do it. So if I'm at an event and I know, oh, I got to take some pictures, I'll just walk around and just start snapping photos of people in action. I mean, that's what you don't want. You kind of want to, you know, if you're getting people in action, you got to think like a photojournalist. I'm just going to start taking pictures, and you probably want to tell your members, you know, there will be pictures taken, so they won't be, you know, caught off guard. And you want to, and you know, and if there are members that are like, I don't care what you do, I don't ever want to be seen on Instagram, you want to probably get that up front, you know, so you know, okay, Judy Reese told me do not take her pictures, so let me go on this this side.
Got it.
You just want to know, but you can just go and just start snapping pictures, and that's what I do. You know, if I'm at an event and I'm like, okay, I'm usually the social media person, so I know I got to take a couple of pictures, so I'll just stop and just start snapping pictures, maybe 10 or 15. I'm like, okay, I got enough that I can send and use. And then you just go on back to, you know.
But you think in terms of someone looking at that picture could tell what you're doing.
You want to make sure you take a picture of the sign. If there's signage, you want to take a picture of that. Because think about it, you're telling a story. So I need a picture of the sign. I need a picture of the event. I need a picture of the president if she's there, the chair of the organization or of the event. Just, you know, you just have those, these are the things that I have to have so I can tell a story. So if I give it to somebody and I'm not there, she can look at the picture and say, oh, this was at this location. Oh, the president's here. She hosted it. These are the people, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they're doing this activity. I see the table. Yeah. So it's just, and we call it a shot list. And I can, I know I have a PDF document somewhere. And if you want to, you know, when we get back together next year, hopefully when we're doing more things in person, you really want to have whoever's the chair of that event, who's hosting the event, you probably just want to give them that little PDF list and say, here's a shot list. I need you to make sure that you take at least 5 of these items if you're taking pictures.
That is really, really helpful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so helpful, Ursula.
Yeah. And so it's going to be different for each event, but after a while, people will kind of be trained like, okay, I know what she's going to have on this shot list. So let me make sure I take a picture of this.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, you get into that habit, into that mode, then it becomes second nature. But you've got to kind of move over from making sure that people who are not there know what you're talking about without you having to write a narrative about it.
Right. Or maybe always appoint a photographer for each event and give them that shot list. We need a shot of so-and-so and the president and so-and-so and the president. And so this way, you know, for sure you have one person that's taking the photos of everybody else.
That's very helpful.
Anybody have any other questions? We're at 1 o'clock, Ursula.
I don't have anything else. If you have any questions or you want smaller workshops, just let me know. I'll add it to the list.
All right. Okay, so we won't have another webinar this year. We'll give everybody a break for December. And then we'll start up again, I guess, in January 2021. Who knows what happens then, or what 2021 has in store for us. All right, then. Well, thank you guys so much for attending. I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving next week, whether it's going to be on Zoom with your family or in person. And, call me if you have any questions. We're here for you. Thank
Simi, I wanted to mention for those people, just to make sure if they did not receive the email about reporting that you did, and it is a fantastic bulletin that you did. You put all the elements together, and I compliment you for that. If you did not receive it personally in your inbox, please reach out to your president, because it is a one-stop shop document that will, it is really giving it to you on a silver platter. And I compliment Simi for her leadership and willingness to do that. And it also has a video of one of the workshops if you wanted to go. If you missed it and you feel like you need it, you could always, advance it if you felt like you needed to. But I did cut it. It's about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's embedded in the email.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to share it and benefit from it, because it's just filled with very, very practical, useful information about reporting.
Well, Maria, I appreciate all the hard work you put into that. I know that you did 2 main workshops and some individual workshops with some of the clubs, and I appreciate a lot of time.
Yeah, it was a good learning experience, and I got a lot of good feedback. So I feel good about it. But what was the date? Was that yesterday that you sent the email out?
Yes.
Okay.
And this has been recorded, so this will be posted on the Northwest District website. Okay? All right. Well, you guys have a great holiday season, Thanksgiving.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ursula.
Thank you.
Ursula,
Yay.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Great
Bye.
job.
Thank you.